And welcome to the second half of the McGraw Report. I'm Harry McGraw, your host, and today we're talking about the one voice, one message movement, put the guns down, and we got my man Jedediah Brown on the show. He's talking about taking back the village, which is also a part of how we're going to take our city back and save our people. Give us a call, 312-738-1060. Now, Mr. Brown, I want to give you an opportunity to expound on a little bit more because we had a slew of callers called in, and I know people want to talk to you, so I'm going to give you a minute or two to expound a little bit.
About the village take back?
Callers. Yeah.
Really, the one thing that I love about this initiative is that it's designed to destroy the dividing lines. I think we've dealt long enough in a society where you have to push down somebody else to rise yourself up. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there are a lot of differences in the world, and I teach people this all the time. Differences are God's scavenger hunt for us to have to work to find out what's awesome about people not like us. So we've been doing this on all sides of the city. On June 15th, we'll be on the west side of Chicago.
That's July 15th, right?
July, yeah. Mm-hmm. July 15th we'll be on the west side of Chicago. And like I said, it should be, violence should be an issue that if it's done on the south side, it should outrage the entire city. Because if the perception of Chicago is talking about the city as a whole. Right. So it's the city as a whole issue. They call it Chirac, not Shy South Side Rack.
That's right.
It's the city.
That's
and
right.
It's all our issue. Got to deal with it.
You got to deal with it, Chicago. So we talking about it right now. We got callers on the line. Callers?
I have a question.
Yes.
And it's just a critique a little bit. All
Yes.
these marching that we have on the south side, they haven't done nothing. Look what people did in terms when they was protesting about immigration, how they went downtown and they had a rally, and how that had an effect on traffic for at least 3 or 4 hours. And business was talking about, hey, you know what? We couldn't do business. You know, it hurted commerce. And with all the shooting and things being done, why don't we have a rally downtown in the Loop, and then you have the CVS and Marshall and business buy on the mayor's back and say, hey, we can't have this sort of stuff, but yet we can have people that are not even U.S. citizens go march and have an impact.
Okay, I understand that. And there has been some marches in the community. I've seen those all along on TV.
Well, one thing that I'll say about rallying is that it's designed to get it sparks the fire and it gets people believing. So many young people have come out of the houses and have wanted to get involved, and they feel like they're a part of something that's moving. And it's not the rallying that we're most proud of. It's the work that we do in the middle and in between time. So the rallying is literally a show of saying, hey, these are people who are collected, agreeing, they got the same mind. And if you're rallying on a cause, it kind of lets the leaders know, you know, you can't be too comfortable when you got 100 people, 200 people outside your door for an issue. So it's effective. You just got to come out and join one and see how amazing they are.
Okay, we got another call on the line. Caller, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, the reason I was calling in, I'm really interested in this program right now, but I think one of the biggest issues is our politicians. See, the thing is, you know, we have to look at what makes the heartbeat of our community, and that's our community, is our politicians. Everything starts there, from our schools, the libraries, the parks. You know, all these things are essential to a healthy community. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at everybody else to bail us out, but we don't want to bail ourselves out.
Well, we doing something right now, brother. That's why we on this show. That's why I got Brother Brown here. That's why I got this show, because we trying to do something to save our community and keep people talking about putting down the guns and stopping the violence and uplifting our people. That's what Capture the Village is all about, right? That's what we're trying to do. We got another call on the line. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, good evening again.
Good evening.
You know, you have an intriguing guest, and you always have intriguing guests, but you know, I'd like to see on your show is somebody like somebody from the Muslim community who have a strong leadership and following.
Okay, well, we have Gregory Sang, who's a regular on our show, so he'll be on the show. You'll get a chance to see him. We got another caller on the line. Caller,
Hello?
go ahead. Yeah.
Call on the line.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, it was kind of ironically, I seen on the news today a march that they were just doing for stopping the violence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe that's a good thing to come to the west side. I'm living on the south side now for the last 10 years. And I always said anything that came to promoting as a whole, as a city, like the young brother would state,
the West Side was always left out. It was like we was always helping each other. Like we ain't had no power, no help from the support from the main source of our politics on the West Side. And I was just thinking about that because me myself was going to do a Stop the Violence thing myself.
Well, you can. You know, part of what we asking people to do is to stand up and be heard. Now, I gotta let Brother Brown wrap up because I got a special guest I want to get on this show before we wrap up. Brother Brown?
Well, we'll be on Hamlin and Madison on July 15th. So hopefully that brother will be able to come out. But I'm not interested. I think we've done the Stop the Violence motion enough. Now it's time for us to call for unity, put out a different message. Come out, stop complaining, call for unity. And whatever you can bring to the table, utilize that so that the community surrounding you will be the best community. Talking to the streets, saying stop the violence. This is not a fad all the time. This is a life that some people have to live sometimes. So we have to give an alternative. Not stop the violence, not put the guns down, put the resources up. Everybody get active together. Thank you for letting me.
Thank you, Brother Brown. We're gonna take a quick break, and I got a special guest I want to introduce to you. One of the hottest rappers in the game right now. He's gonna give you a message of peace and love as well. We'll be right back. Come on, Lil J. Sit right here.
Not going to TV no more.
We on the air. Sit down. Y'all gotta sit down. We on the air. We on the air. Sit down. Don't leave. Sit down. Don't leave. We got a special guest for you. We got one of the hottest rappers in Chicago coming in here to talk to us on the McGraw Report. We got King Lil J the building, man. And we are so excited to have him, man. This guy has been doing fantastic stuff in the city of Chicago. His music is moving crowds all over the city. And I think he's about to do a little tour in Wisconsin and Michigan and some of the other Midwest states. Lil J, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, man.
Thank you.
And we just want to get your take on this whole thing, because we was talking a little bit about how the radio stations is saying, you know, put the guns down and all that, but at the same time, they pumping up this music of violence, man. And I know by you being as real as you are on the streets, you know, you working with, you know, King Louis, you working with, you know, Harry J, you got Monty Productions on your team, you working with a lot of special people, man. How do you feel about what's going on in the streets right now?
I feel like, man, people can say all this about stopping the violence, but if nobody push forward or put no effort into it, it's just like no purpose, really.
That's right.
They want to say stop the violence and all this, but end up right after saying stop the violence, play a song promoting violence. It don't match.
Right, right. Now you've been doing some really hot music, man. Your craft is taking off, but you know I notice a lot of young rappers like yourself. They can't seem to understand the difference between your art form and reality. It's like you doing art when you perform. And, you know, these people out here taking it seriously like it's real life instead of an art form. How you feel about that?
Like, most of it is, like, real life. Some of it is an art form to make it look all good, but most of it is real life. Most of the stuff we rap about or say in our songs really go through it. That's why a lot of people really do look up to us.
King Lil J is on the show, man, on the McGraw Report. We are so happy to have him. We got a caller on the line? Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, this brother T.O., brother McGraw.
Yeah, we got King Lil J on the line, T.O. I was telling him about, you know, all the wonderful things he's been doing. And, of course, you did the movie The Interrupters. What would you say to a young man that's up and coming like this brother here?
No, just stay focused, stay on the grind, because we all understand what the young brothers are going through out there. And like the brother said, they're rapping their real-life experiences. That's why a lot of young guys can relate to them. But at the same time, once you make it all the way to the top, never forget to reach back and pull some of the young brothers and sisters up with you. We need more business people pulling each other up. That's what's definitely needed out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Tia. And I'll ask you, Lil J. Now, when you doing your deals, have you got any deals that you got on the table right now that you're negotiating, or are you working with any artists for a summer tour? Any special artists
Yeah,
you're working with?
I got some deals on the table, and I'm just trying to set up a lot of as much shows as I can, really, so I can really stay out of Chicago. There's too much going on.
Yeah, I know a lot of the artists that I've been seeing. Kanye West, Common, Jennifer Williams, Jennifer Hudson, rather. All these are Chicago-based artists. Do you know if there's any movement being done right now to pull some of those artists back into the city to work with young cats like yourself to get the gun violence down and to promote the music?
Not at all. I think they just really they really just got on and just forgot about the city.
So
Yeah, let me for you, Brother Harry, if you
Yes,
don't mind.
yes.
Brother Ryan Fest is doing a little work with Kanye and Common to try to get them to come to Chicago and get involved in the overall peace process. But you do have members of the Chicago Bulls like Joakim Noah. He's involved with Father Flager. But like the brother said, we got to get a lot of young brothers and sisters everywhere just promoting peace, put the guns down, and just make it out a big-time Chicagoland movement.
I agree. And see, a lot of this music that we hearing right now is kind of a genre. You know, I saw the whole Chief Keef movement go on. It took off, and now it seems like it's spiraling out of control. But then you got younger artists like, you know, Lil J, you know, Harry J, King Louis, a lot of these cats that's really putting down some really good music. And I'm trying to understand, are these artists being ignored? Or do you feel like the industry is not taking you seriously with this music? I mean, I'm looking on YouTube, you got millions of hits on your songs and your videos. Is this all self-production?
Self.
With Money Productions and some of those other Cannon Boys records. How you able to do all this?
Just like, man, even though they try to like ignore us, it's like a passion now. It's like something I like to do every day, just rap. Cause rapping get me out the streets, giving me shows, giving me money. You know, that stuff that really help. So I'm gonna keep doing it.
And I think it's a great thing what you're doing, man. I think it's positive that you're showing other young people that you can take your talent and use it in the right way. Am I correct, T.O.?
Oh, without a doubt. If that brother has 1 million hits on his YouTube videos, I mean, you know, success is already there for him, but major success is right around the corner. I think it's just a matter of the brother need to take a page out of the book, a Master P from the past, you know, like Big Money, all them guys, Young Money, rather, my fault. Them guys, they all sold their own, like, records back in the day, and then they became big-time producers and everything. So it's just a matter of time for the little brother to become totally successful, and hopefully, like I say, he'll reach back to some of the brothers in Chicago and sisters and the community at large.
Now, I was talking to Lil J backstage, and we talked a little bit about this next career move. You want to do some sort of life movie or some sort of biopic. Describe some of the things you want to talk about in the movie.
I want to just really talk about like the community, like how we came up in the community, how we got these certain ways. Like people just think like we just came out bad. We just started off game banging. No, it's a path. It's a way we made it to get to this. I want to show all that and show it the stuff I've been through in my life. I've been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's been a very challenging road for you as a young artist. I understand that there was attempts on your life at one time, and you survived those, and you just took that hate and channeled it inward to your music and created this genre of music now that people are following all over the city, and you even have a show scheduled out in Wisconsin now, right?
Yes, on Friday with Rich Homie Quan.
Rich Homie Quan in is that Racine or Madison?
Racine, Wisconsin.
Okay. And a lot of those shows that you're doing, people are coming from Chicago, they coming from Indiana, they coming from Michigan to see you. Mm-hmm. How does that make you feel as an artist?
It make me feel real good once I see their faces and see how their reaction is when they see me. It makes me want to just go even harder, just do it even more.
King Lil J is our guest on the McGraw Report, and I got T.O. Hardiman live on the air. T.O., I just want you to express a little bit about your passion. I know you recently ran for governor, and, although it was not quite the way you wanted it to end up, you had a lot of success getting the attention of the people when it comes to these kind of issues. You want to expound on that, brother?
Well, I was born and raised in the Henry Horner Projects and the Avalon Park community. I understand the street element quite well. I'm the kind of guy that pulled myself up, by my bootstraps. Running for governor turned out pretty good for me. I actually secured 125,500 votes statewide. I won 30 counties downstate, and which represents close to 30% of the statewide vote without a lot of money. So that's the first time someone has done something like that in Illinois before, okay? But when it comes down to street violence, a lot of brothers and sisters just don't know how to get along. They beefing about some of anything and everything. And one number that never changes in Chicago, let's say you have 500 homicides one year. 80% of all homicides in Chicago take place in the African-American community. We've got to reduce that number in a major way. We have so many issues, and a lot of times people just say gangs, but that's not necessarily true. A lot of young guys are just trying to survive out there, and they end up getting into it. And then you had a 14% increase in females being killed this year already, a 14% increase in female-related homicides. So we have a lot of work to do to just mobilize the entire community around this issue of violence, and hopefully we can reduce the violence once and for all.
Yeah, I think it's a misconception that people have not really grasped. When we talk about people like Lil J, he's a successful artist. He's trying to grow, but he was raised right here in Chicago.
Right.
His mother and his father are here in Chicago. You went to public school here in Chicago, and his whole family is here. And so it's not like he's trying to create an image for himself. This is who he is, and this is where he's from, and these are the kind of things you talk about in your songs. I know there's this one song that you did called "Why," and I thought it was very touching. It was a solo piece that you did, no collaboration on it, but it had a lot of imagery about God and about spirituality. People that you've lost, like Lil JoJo and people like that in your life. You want to talk a little bit about that piece? I thought it was very powerful.
That song right there came from the heart.
Yeah, it was really a powerful piece. It was like you was in front of a church, and are you a spiritual brother? Are you?
I'm not very spiritual, but I want to say that, like, I'm not like a hypocrite or anything. Like, I just call on them when I need them. I like pray every night and everything. Pray for my family. Pray for everybody.
That's good, man. And see, a lot of people are afraid to say some of these things that Lil J is saying right now. And I just want to commend you for being bold enough to come on TV right now and talk to Chicago and let them know how you really feel about this industry that you chose to be a part of. What's on the horizon for you? What's next?
We got a couple mixtapes coming out. I'm really just trying to make it out of Chicago. Like any type of ways, I'm trying to really just make a way for people that I know. I know a lot of good people that's in these streets, but if they don't have nothing to do but gang bang, that's all they have to do. If I'm able to get on with this rapping, I'm gonna reach back into my community, put like activities out there, look, summer jobs, all that to help stop violence.
That's fantastic stuff, man. And I just want to say, T.O.,
Yes.
you and I, we have to reach out and help brothers like this, man.
For sure.
It's our responsibility. And I think that you calling on the show, I know you wanted to make it, but you had another appointment today, and your doctor really messed you up when you went there. So I excuse you this time, but next time when you get well, I want you here. Okay?
I'll be there for sure. Like, you make family to me, my brother, so don't worry about it. We are one big family. You can count on me.
All right. Thank you so much. That's T.O. Hardiman who called in. I really appreciate you, T.O. And I want to thank all of my guests who came on the show today. It's a hot show. I'm glad they gave me an extra half an hour. And Lil J, I just want to give you the stage. You got Chicago listening to you right now. If you you know, we going into this 4th of July weekend. It's going to be a lot of fireworks, a lot of people acting a fool. What you think the message should be for this weekend, man? Going
Really
into 4th of July.
just have fun, man. We don't need no guns to have fun. We can just get along, have fun. Just have fun. As kids gonna be out here, elderly people. Just have some fun, man. Just for one time, just have fun with no guns, no BS.
That's right. That's right. Now I gotta give you an opportunity to give them your Twitter page or whatever you want to do, because I know it's a lot of people that want to, you know, reach out to you about your music and everything. Where can they find your
My
music?
Twitter is Lil J _ up next with 2 zeros. My Instagram is Lil J 063.
Lil J 063.
And you can Google me too. Just Google King Lil J. I'm gonna pop up.
All right. And all the music that he's putting out is very powerful. It's fun music. It looks like, you know, you have a lot of your crew with you. You have a good time with your show. And, you know, I just like it. I just like the way you developing as an artist, man. I think it's great. And then once you leave Wisconsin and you do your traveling in Michigan and all that, I want you to come back to Chicago, man, and get with me and T.O. We want to do something special for the people of Chicago with your music. Can we get you to do that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, Chicago. We got a young man on the show that is powerful in these streets. King Lil J is here. And I want to give a special shout out to Harry J and Monty Productions, who arranged this special invitation for him to come out. I thought it was a very exciting point for them to make. And we also want to encourage the rest of you in Chicago that's watching the show to reach out to the McGraw Report. We're going to have a lot of exciting guests this summer. And call us at 312-738-1060 and let us know how you feel about everything. I want to also thank Brother Brown, who was on the show today. He was exciting as usual, taking back the village. And we want to thank all of our guests for coming out today. So this is King Lil J. I'm Harry McGraw. And we want to thank you, Chicago, for tuning in. And we'll see you next week with another exciting guest on the McGraw Report. You good?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. And you guys have a wonderful day.